So Jeff Sessions has been fired. We've known for a long time that the president wanted to get rid of him. I think the real surprise was that Sessions lasted as long as he did. At this point, we should be concerned and watchful, but there's no need to panic. It's not as easy for the new acting Attorney General, Matt Whitaker, to fire Mueller or interfere with the Mueller investigation as people might think. So first of all, the special counsel regulations themselves provide a fair amount of independence and autonomy for Mueller. Mueller is not supposed to be subject to kind of day-to-day supervision, getting approval for every little step. The Attorney General could deny Mueller permission to take certain steps, like to return a certain indictment. If he does that, he has to, at some point, explain to Congress why he did that. If he were to try to fire Mueller, it's a similar story. So he can only fire the special counsel for good cause, insubordination, dereliction of duties, some other misconduct. And again, he would have to ultimately explain that to Congress. And of course, after January, the Democrats are going to control the House. They're not going to be shy about having hearings. And ultimately, if it's bad enough, that's potentially obstruction of justice on the part of Whitaker. I think there's a really strong argument that Whitaker needs to recuse himself, not only based on the public statements he's made about the investigation that might suggest he couldn't be impartial.
There is no criminal case to be made on an obstruction of justice.
But also his relationship to Clovis and maybe to others who are implicated in the investigation. But he's not required to follow that advice from the ethics office. So even if they tell him you should recuse, it's still ultimately up to him. Mueller and Chris Wray and Rod Rosenstein are professionals. If they feel like they're no longer able to do their jobs, that they're actually being impeded by the Attorney General, at some point you would expect that they resign and go public. Then you're kind of in Watergate territory, Saturday Night Massacre. And then I think it's time to start, really being concerned that these officials have been thwarted from pursuing the investigation. But even if that happens, the investigation itself doesn't go away. Nixon fired Archibald Cox. The investigation didn't go away, and we know how that ended up for Nixon.